Hey, Matt.
Hey, Lawrence.
Matt, we're often asked by a lot of schools how they can manage deferred applicants, deferred application. Many times, an applicant may be admitted for a program or semester, and then they decide to defer their application to a future semester. So, what are the common challenges that we need to account for from a technology perspective? And what did we develop at Enrollment Rx in order to make that all possible inside of Salesforce?
Yeah, it's a good question, Lawrence. Data accuracy, especially in admissions, is super critical. And so the challenge a lot of times that clients might face is that if somebody had applied for 2023 as an example, and they need to defer to 2024, you don't simply want to just go in and change their term because you lose that historical record that would have otherwise perhaps counted towards your enrollment for this year. And so, for data accuracy purposes, it makes it a challenge without actually cloning the record related to the student. So, native to Salesforce, they do have some cloning capabilities, but we've developed a tool that is a little bit more robust and user friendly, especially for admissions processing. That makes this really easy as part of our ERX Core product. So we are here on the application record, and as you can see here at the top, we have some features, including a button that says Super Clone. So one of the limitations to native Salesforce cloning is that there are some limitations to the number of related records you can bring along with this application. So as part of an applicant, all their essays, perhaps all the recommendations that they received, related test scores, perhaps attachments related to those things, you want to bring over to the new record with ease. And so we developed a functionality that lays within this kind of button interface that allows that to do that quite easily. And we also have this new interface that pops up as part of the button that makes that cloning process that much smoother. So if you notice here, I have Pam Prospect, who's an accountant, admitted accounting student for 2023. And in the scenario where Pam would want to change from admit to deferred and then move to 2024 as an example, me as the admissions processor or director of recruitment could come in here to the record and click this super clone button. When I click super clone, a new interface populates that's part of our product. And in this interface, we give you the ability as an administrator to determine the fields that you'd like to see related to the application record in these different categories. You can also see we give you the ability to determine the depth of the number of records, meaning the layers of records that you would like to clone. So for example, if there was a admissions document object that was related to the application, but then something related to the admissions document object, that shows how many layers deep you can go in the cloning. So we give you that ability. In addition to that, you can see the target record fields. The target record fields means for the new application that's about to be created as part of this clone. Instead of having to save this and then go back into that record and make these changes, I can simply make any related changes I want to right here. And again, I can determine whatever fields I would like as part of this process, update this quite easily through field sets. In this example here, you can see that this person's admit for fall 2023, but if we want to change this to spring 2023, I can simply search for that just like we can on the Salesforce record page and populate that new value. Now here you can see if there are any fields I want to null out, meaning that when I clone this new record, I just want to blank out certain fields automatically. I can do that and add that as part of the clone process. So the source record fields is the application that we currently are on that will now become the old application. And as a result, for example, the admission status of this original application no longer would be admit, but rather something such as deferred or a different value that we could move it to. So perhaps it's closed and we could keep the fall 2023 the same. So we give you the ability to change values for the future record, but also for the existing record in the same one here. Under optional settings, if there's specific users or an owner of the new record that you'd like to assign as part of this process, you can look up any owner here So if there's like a new director, for example, of, this department for 2023, and you want them to be the owner, you could do that. And then also you could specify what fields to exclude as part of the clone as well. And we give you, as part of this interface, some really helpful help text and formatting and things of that nature. And then down here, you can see the different objects that relate to this clone. So in this example, if I don't want to bring over the related tasks that were related to this application, I could simply unselect this in this interface and then still hit the start clone. So we give you the ability to drill down into what specific related items that you'd like as part of this clone, which is part of like native Salesforce you were not able to do. So if I were to go ahead and click this, I click the start clone process. Once I click the start clone process, an existing record would remain and a new record would be created with all those related items in the new fields, and they would all be related to the one contact record.
Great. Thanks so much, Matt.